you want to know my opinion on what I think, just keep on watching. Hey guys, what's good? It's your girl Nisi here and I'm back with a new video. I want to give a huge shout out to my new subscribers and my remaining ones. Thank you so much. Make sure your notification bell is on and you keep liking up and sharing my videos. I'm trying to hit that 1K for August. But yeah guys, in today's videos, you already know by the title and thumbnail, a big trigger warning. So I'm coming with sad news today. This manager was unalived by her co-worker. And the TikTok streets are divided. Some people are on obviously the manager side that sadly passed, and some people are on the culprit side. So the culprit's claiming that the manager used to bully her, she used to dock her pay, send her home early, just just messing around with her and just making her do like all the nasty jobs. I don't know how true that is, but let's just say hypothetically that is true. That doesn't give you the right to unalive her. Beat her up, if anything. I know in America, you guys in the fast food, you guys like to swing on one another. I love you guys over there. I love those clips. Customers think they can talk to you crazy and you just come around and whoop their ass. You know what I mean? So she didn't have to take her life. She was a single mother of 6 children. So you know what I mean? These poor 6 children now are without parents. But yeah, I'ma roll the news clip and I will be back with my commentary.
A mother killed in a workplace stabbing.
My mama died trying to take care of us.
A McDonald's manager killed in the middle of the morning rush, and police say it was another employee who did it.
Jennifer Harris was working her shift this morning when she sent an employee home early. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kimberly Gill.
And I'm Ty Steele. Police say that employee left and then came back and killed her with a knife. This happened at the McDonald's on 9 Mile West, west of Kelly and East Point. Noel Frio is live with the details. Noel, we hear a Good Samaritan stepped in and tried and stop this.
Yeah, that's right. Police say that stabbing happened near this drive-through window behind me. And they say a customer who was in the drive-through stepped in and stopped the suspect from fleeing the scene before police arrived. We've now learned that the victim was a mother of 6. Employees described the terrifying moments inside a McDonald's after a worker attacked a manager with a knife. Police say the employee had been in an argument with the manager that ended with her being sent home.
She left for 5 minutes. She came back with a mask on her face. And the only thing I seen was her hands. That's how I knew it was her.
Family of the victim identify her as 39-year-old Jennifer Harris. She was stabbed multiple times before a customer in the drive-through line intervened, holding the employee at gunpoint until officers arrived.
He had her sitting down there in the parking lot next to a vehicle, and he had the gun pointed at her. That's when police and all them rolled up.
He did the right thing. He showed, so to speak, heroism. And we really appreciate his assistance because, like I said, otherwise we would have a dangerous criminal right now in public and we would be looking for her, but who knows what else she was gonna do.
Family of Harris described her as selfless, a hard worker who worked to provide for her 6 children as a single mother.
She was the best mom anybody could ever ask for. My mama, she woke up every day and went to work for us. My mama died trying to take care of us.
Her children now in shock at how such senseless violence could have ended their mother's life.
A hard-working woman, so kind. If anybody needed help, she would give you her last, give you the shirt off her back. She did not deserve that at all.
Oh, guys, that was a lot, especially hearing the daughter just break down. But yeah, guys, you heard that. The fact that she did this like first thing in the morning during, rush hour. Shout out to all the Good Samaritans that were there and stepped in. Can you imagine being in the drive-thru, just wanting to order McDonald's breakfast, and then you see, you know what I mean? That, like, what? Listen, I don't know what's going on in the world, but the end of days are near. We're living in biblical times. Like, this is crazy. She came back with a mask, so she got sent home. She came back with a mask, and one of the other co-workers only recognized by her hand now. I don't know if she has a tattoo on her hand or a certain set of nails, but wow, sad, very, very sad. And again, some people are on the side of the culprit, and it's just like, how? So doing research for this video, I went on her TikTok. She had a whole TikTok. And on her TikTok, it's quite violent and it's quite demonic. She has Chucky. She's like a big, huge fan of Chucky. She's got a couple of videos where she's waving like a pocket knife around and she's saying, "Oh, I'm not going to go and work with this one today, but I might take another one." And it's just like, what? You know what I find funny with TikTok? I remember my friend, she did a TikTok and she was doing like a carpool. She was playing music and, recording. And they kept taking down that video, but yet you have this whole girl flipping and flopping knives and her videos are still up. Like, what? I can't play it on YouTube because it goes against their guidelines, you know what I mean? But she's got some very violent and demonic videos. So for anyone sticking up for this girl, I don't know how they can do that. But yeah, let's get into some people's reactions.
Let me talk to y'all real quick, okay? A manager who worked at that location at McDonald's for 15 years, who's also a mother of 6, was stabbed and unalived by an employee that claims that said manager had been bullying and antagonizing this person. Let me start off by saying, yes, this is tragic. Unfortunate that somebody has lost their life. But what hurts even more is the fact that nobody wants to talk about why the situation even occurred in the first place. Mind you, I'm not saying that was right or that was the right way to go about handling that situation. But what I am saying is that people are tired. People are tired of being pushed. People are tired of being provoked. And people are tired of being played with. Especially when it comes to being at work. We already don't want to be at work. Now we have to go into toxic work environments. It's like, why is it that when the person that was being messed with finally snaps and they do something to defend themselves or stick up for themselves, everybody acts so surprised? No matter how extreme the reaction is. Can't be surprised that somebody who was being bullied at work did something when nobody wanted to help them. It's like y'all cannot sit around and 100% completely demonize this woman for defending herself. Because where was this call to attention? Where was all of this when she was posting video after video expressing what she was going through at the workplace? I've personally been in toxic work environments, had managers who hated themselves so much that they made it everybody else's problem. Managers and people in power positions who are operating in so much darkness that they have to go out and dim everybody else's light around them. Why are we acting so green to this? Why are we acting like these types of people don't exist? Well, I'm not understanding how nobody can relate to this woman feeling bullied and feeling powerless in an environment where everybody should have outgrown all of this bully mean girl shit. Now let's talk about the facts. Too many African American women in positions of power and leadership carry unhealed pain and trauma with them every single day. Hell, I'd personally argue that this is what most black women do nowadays out in society. They do nothing professionally to deal with these things, resolve whatever internal conflict they got going on with themselves. Instead, they project it onto everybody around them. You mad at your baby daddy, your kid, your bills. Now everybody at work gotta pay for it? You cutting hours out of spite, humiliating people, arguing nonsense. That's not leadership. That's control. That's ego. I'm sorry, but not really. Having 6 kids doesn't automatically put you in the category of a good person. Being a mom, being a parent, does not automatically put you in the category of a good person. No matter how good of a parent you are to those kids, no matter how good of a mother you are to those kids, treating the people around you with the same kindness and consideration that you do for your kids, guess what? You're still a bad person. Being a good person means that you treat everybody with the exact same kindness and generosity that you would want the world to show your kids when you're not in rooms to defend them. And y'all know I'm gonna use God's word to back me up. Because Proverbs 21:13 says, whoever shuts their ears to the cries of the poor will also cry out and not be answered. This employee cried for help. She posted videos, begged, reached out. And y'all just sat back, watched, and laughed like it was a reality TV show. Now you want to mourn? Nah. It's just crazy because this situation involving a bunch of black people, with primarily African Americans commenting on this situation, how much gripe we have against the system and all this other extra shit. It's crazy how we can't recognize how the system failed her before the knife even got presented into the situation. And furthermore, telling someone to just go to HR is the weakest solution. That's not advice. It's not going to solve anything. You have to understand, when it comes to these businesses and corporations, going to HR is not going to do nothing. All HR is going to do is they're going to protect the liability of the company and not the employee. They don't care about human rights or human resources. They're here for the business interest and the business interest only. So if that means staying silent, siding with toxic managers because it's what makes the company money, that's what they're going to do. And that's what we saw. According to y'all, if it's not that, then her other only solution is to what? Get bullied in silence or to quit her job and let the bully win? And that's the biggest issue. We tell everybody, oh, just turn the other cheek. But then we don't give them anything in return. No justice, no accountability, and on top of that, no peace at all. At the end of the day, Buddha once said, treat others with kindness. Your actions are your only true belongings. That manager did not just lose her life, she lost the opportunity and the chance to be better. And the employee, she lost everything too. And let this situation show y'all that nobody wins when hate, bullying, and antagonizing goes unchecked. By no means am I defending the violence, but I am going to defend the reality that I live in. And the reality that we live in is that people can only take so much. If you ignore someone's pain for so long, they're going to become the very problem that you refuse to fix. This isn't about just this one job. This is about a culture, about a pattern where bullies thrive and victims get burned. We have to stop treating cries of help as just background noise. Stop ignoring red flags just because someone is a mom. Let's do better. Let's hold other people accountable before things explode. Let's love people enough to check them. Let's care enough to listen the first time around. Because when we don't, this is what happens. Anybody who thinks or believes otherwise, you want to be just like that manager. All you're doing is automatically jumping to bullying this girl. I mean, the comments speak for themselves. I want to punch down on this girl for doing what she did. Yet she did what she did because of people like you. Sitting around reading too much into face filters and the Chucky this and the Chucky that and the Jason Mask this and all of the extra shit. So that means that all you women who get on here with the dumb clown face filter, you're about to do some clown shit? A clown ass female at the end of the day because you put on the clown face filter? So that's why I'm not completely and 100% condemning the employee. You guys always want to rush to bash the victim who just simply reacted, not the perpetrator who caused the reaction. Personally, it's either you give understanding and compassion to everybody in the situation or don't have any at all. Think about how y'all sound. Oh no, me being a mother of 6 doesn't mean that I can't be a piece of shit of a person and get away with it. Boo-hoo, woe it's me. That's what you guys sound like, and that's literally what this situation breaks down to at the end of the day. Yeah, that employee needs to get jail time because I wouldn't have done that. And I do think it's morally wrong to unalive somebody in that type of situation. But y'all have to understand the reality is people ain't fucking around with y'all no more, dude. People are very much willing to do the time. So just treat people with kindness, y'all.
Whew, that was lengthy. I was just like, he was in his preaching mode. I get it. I agreed with some stuff and I didn't agree with other stuff. Again, on this channel, I like to listen to both sides. I'm non-biased, but I'll start off with what I agree with. I agree with when he says a lot of black women carry trauma. So it could be trauma from childhood or what's currently going on in the home. Again, she's a single parent of 6 kids. I'm a single parent of 3 kids, and just those 3 alone, you know what I mean? You do get moody and you do shout and you do stress out. So her going to McDonald's, she's probably in a job that she doesn't like. So she probably does take it out on her co-workers and the employees, the ones underneath her. So, but again, that still doesn't give you the right to take her life. I just feel like she should have beat her up or she could have burnt her. They're not right, but you know what I mean? It would have been better than her throwing her own life away, because now she's going to get locked up and taking a woman's life away. You know what I mean? So I hear what he's saying, poking the bear, bullying, people are tired. Yes, people are tired. I've never worked in the fast food industry, but I have worked in customer service, and that's just as stressful. You know what I mean? But yeah, people do need to stop playing with people. But again, she could have jumped her after work. She could have beat her up on the spot. She could have slapped her, cussed her out. There's so many other things she could have done. But to take, you know what I mean, to go, after she got sent home, to go home, put on a mask, get the, you know what I mean, and then come back and do it. Come on, man. No, 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 that's so wrong. And again, he's talking about, oh yeah, so what? She's Chucky and Michael Myers, the filters. What's wrong with? Are you okay? Like, that's demonic on her own. And when I say her TikTok is crazy, I just can't believe those videos are on TikTok. They're very demonic. They're very concerning. And like he said, people have been watching her cry for help like it's a reality TV show. I didn't know this girl until this story dropped. But the people that do follow her and are subscribed to her, shame on you, because this ain't it. It's so wrong on so many levels. And to hear what he's saying about HR and talk to other people, but that's like, to complain about someone, those are the steps you've got to take. It's just like if you want to sort out your insurance or claim insurance, the steps you've got to take. If you want to file a police report, the steps you've got to take. It might be long, it might not be right, or you might not get the results you wanted, but that's the world we live in. There's rules and regulations, you know what I mean, for things, and there's a process for things to get sorted. I'm gonna need the co-workers and whoever else works at that McDonald's to come forward, because it's her word against a dead woman's word. You know what I mean? Of course, she can come out and say, yeah, she was bullying me, she kicked me in my back. Of course, she can say that because you're the one that unalived her. We don't know if this is even true because the woman is, you know what I mean, she's dead. So I'm gonna need more people to come out, people that were working on that shift again. One of the employees that clocked it was her. It's only because of her hand. Shout out to her. I'm gonna need her to speak on it. Like, was she really getting bullied? It's the same with the mass shootings. If they don't like unalive themselves, they just come out and like, yeah, I was getting bullied. So that makes it right to go into a school, shoot a bunch of students or your peers, and shoot a bunch of teachers. You know what I mean? Crazy, man. Like, you lot need to stop with the excuses. So many people get bullied every day at work, at school, college, wherever. That doesn't give you the right to take that person's life away. Now, if they try to kill you, you could, you know what I mean? Because then it'd be self defense. It's like the video I did on that Carmelo kid that's still going on in America. If you've not seen it, do check it out. He ended up sadly killing, you know what I mean, the white guy, and he was saying it was self defense. Like, they kept picking on him and his brother are twins. They jumped him and he had a pocket knife and he ended up stabbing him. And it's sad because he stabbed him in the heart, and it's just like, whoa. You know what I mean? There's one thing stabbing someone like in the leg or slashing them, but no, like, this was premeditated. She knew, going home, getting the knife, getting the mask, coming back. She knew what she was doing, so I don't want to hear it.
And I don't know if it's because I went to white schools, but I've always known that the black girls that wear the colorful synthetic wigs were not the bitches to fuck with. I've always known that. I've always known to be kind to them and be nice to them and to be friends with them. And if I couldn't do any of those things, to stay the fuck away from them, you know? See, I don't know if it's a cultural thing or something, but I leave the emo people and the characters and the people who live in fantasy worlds the fuck alone, because they play video games. And one thing I realized about people who play video games, they be playing some violent shit. And they not really living in the real world. They living in that video game. And I'm not even about to test no fucking theories, right? Sometimes you have to be very mindful of how you talk to people. You have to be very mindful of what you say to people. You have to be very mindful of how you interact with people. It's right and it's wrong, but some people don't give a fuck, okay? Y'all be so busy living and moving off of what you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to be doing. What are people doing? How are people reacting? Where are we at right now in life? A lot of people are struggling and mentally fucked up because they're struggling. They're not enjoying life, right? So guess what that means? A lot of people don't give a fuck about dying or going to prison at all, right? Because some people have a better life and, happier days in a place where they have for sure a bed to sleep in, food to eat, and a book to read, okay? And y'all have to keep that in mind. Everybody ain't scared to die, and everybody ain't scared to go to jail. And when you put those two things in perspective, you will be very careful and mindful of how you interact with people, regardless if they're right or you're wrong and they're right and you're right and they're wrong. Whatever the fucking situation is, you have to think about your safety, think about your kids, think about your life. Stop being so focused on what other people and what's going to happen to them. What is going to happen to you? I'm not willing to die about no motherfucking McDonald's, okay? You got it, baby. You could work here. You could do 100 hours a week. I don't give a fuck. I ain't trying to die about it.
Shout out to her. She told straight up facts. I ain't trying to die over this job. Like, every job I've had, I'm like, like when I used to work in the biggest supermarket in the UK, I seen a lot of theft. You think I'm running up to the culprit being like, put that back? No, first of all, it's a way above my pay grade. Second of all, I don't really care that much because if you hurt me or unalive me, all the company's gonna do is replace my ass. Like if people are calling out McDonald's, this woman's worked there for 15 plus years and they've not even given like a heartfelt statement about her. And they probably didn't know anything about her. So I'm like her, like, listen, whatever you want, you can take. Like this job, it's above my pay grade because at the end of the day, now that this woman's been unalived, guess what? All they're gonna do is replace her and put a new manager there. It's crazy. But listen, and she talks about the wig, synthetic wigs, color wigs, the way the certain styles, leave those kind of females, black females alone. They're not to be played with. I stay away from the girls with the red wigs. You know what I mean? Like they be on crud. Like they don't give up. It's like she said, a lot of people don't care about their life. They're not living well. They hate life. And misery loves company, so they're ready to take away your life, or they're ready to, take away your life and go sit in jail. At least they ain't got to pay no rent. At least they're guaranteed to get a meal every free. You know what I mean? What is it? Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But yeah, I'm gonna put her picture there. Like just her mugshot alone, like she's not to be played with. And she gets like fantasy, those computer games and stuff. Emos, those fantasy people, anime, leave those people alone because they're not in the real world. They're in their own little fantasy. Leave them alone. I know back in the day a lot of people used to like pick and kick and push these emos. Like, yo, that one day they might be carrying a pocket knife, or for the UK, they love the zombie knife. For what? Leave them alone just because they're different. Leave them alone. The tattoos, the piercings, how dark they are, the hair. Leave them alone.
We've all had that one manager that we just could not stand and we wanted to slap the shit out of them. Or if you're a manager, I'm sure you've had that one employee that you just couldn't stand and you wanted to slap the shit out of them. But the difference between us and that girl who worked at that McDonald's who fatally stabbed her manager is we all know that there's consequences for our actions. She said her manager was bullying her. She said her manager was manipulating her. She said her manager would send her home early almost every day.
Telling you she's a bully. This shit isn't funny. She needs to understand that just because she's a mother and got children doesn't mean that she can come in the store, disrespecting people, talking to them like everybody's beneath her. She has no respect, man. I got shit I gotta take care of. And she keeps sending me home early. It's not all that negative energy that she's...
So she went to work and she and her manager, they got into it and her manager sent her home and she went home, got a knife and murdered her manager during the morning rush in the front of the McDonald's, like right in the front where everybody could see. And I'm not picking sides when I say this, but that girl was wrong. If you are being bullied in the workplace, you can quit. I know the economy is rough, but if it's affecting your mental health that much that you want to murder unalive your manager, quit. Just find another job. It's not worth it. Or sue your company. As someone who has their degree in management and also has been in a few management positions, being a manager is not easy. You're the punching bag. But also, I've also been bullied by other managers. And some managers, they take this management thing to their head. Especially older managers versus younger employees. There are some older managers that do treat younger people in the workplace like they're kids. And there are some managers that make the workplace extremely toxic. But also, there are some employees that make the workplace extremely toxic. But if it ever gets to this point, just quit. It is not.
Shout out to him. He made some really good points. But yeah, just quit, or better still, transfer to another McDonald's. Like it's McDonald's, for crying out loud. It's not like this is the only McDonald's and there's not another one for like 20 miles. Like, listen, even here in the UK, there's a McDonald's nearly on every corner. Or maybe just go to a whole new fast food branch. You have Wendy's, you have Popeyes. Like, you guys love your fast foods over there. You know what I mean? But if anything, if she had to do anything to our manager, just beat her up. Like, what? Because then at least it would be assault and battery. But to take her life away, and like she stated in that little clip, she knew she was a mother of 6 kids. Like, why would you do that? But I agree with him. We've all been at some point either bullied or hated our manager, or you hate the job. But guess what? Bills, you know what I mean? Money have to make and bills have to be paid. It is what it is. I've had a horrible. It's not even that she was horrible. We just didn't. When you just don't click. And then she finally got moved to another store. She was like, "Are you come in?" Because she wanted to take a lot of the staff. And I was like, "Nope." I stayed there, and then I got a better manager. And then I've had an assistant manager that was horrible. She literally gave everyone their lunch break, and she didn't give me mine. And then I complained about it, and then she tried to put it on me like I should have told her. I wanted to go and break. So this is when I was like 15, like in my first job. Like I don't know what's what. I thought the normal thing was the manager to tell me, yo, go on your break. You know what I mean? But she tried to flip it and put it and blame me. And it's just like, so from then, I never liked her. But yeah, I've never been bullied at work, thank God. And shout out to everyone that is getting bullied. Do something about it. Complain, fight, whack them up, try and get transferred. Like there's so many different options you have, but please do not take their life away because you're gonna throw away your life and you're taking theirs and you're just ruining so many lives. Now these 6 children have to grow up without a mother. Like it's just sad. I don't know how old her eldest child is, but maybe the eldest might have to take on the other 5. Like I don't know, but this is just really sad, man. And it could have been avoided at so many costs. If she was bullying her, she could have just been like, just don't be a job's worth in the UK. We call them jobs worth. Like, no job is worth dying over. Or you know when you do the most, like it's McDonald's. I get it. Again, like you stated, some of these managers, their heads get so big. I remember a girl that I worked with. She was just a normal co-worker like me. She got the position to become like a supervisor. When I say her head went so big, her head went so big. So in this job, you could wear your own clothes, but obviously becoming like a manager, supervisor, you have to wear a uniform. You know, just a smart look. When I say it went to her head, she was wearing a blouse, trousers, pumps. It went to her head, and I had to school her one day. I was like, "Listen, remember, at one point you was one of us. You know what I mean? You used to slug off and cuss off the manager, and just because you're one of them, you know what I mean? You have an attitude now, and you know when you're talking or you're on your phone when you shouldn't be. You know what I mean? She was just moving mad, and I had to school her like, yo, don't let you know what I mean. You're getting too big for your boots. Like, relax, because at one point you was one of us. But yeah, I agree with him, man. It's not worth it. Just transfer. We are living in a cost of living. The climate is hard, but just get another job. It's McDonald's, for crying out loud.
Oh no, that lady been at McDonald's for 15 years and McDonald's has yet to release an official statement on her unaliving. Should tell you everything that you need to know. It should tell y'all be in these lower level jobs bullying and harassing people on behalf of these companies that want not give a damn if you die or if you are unalived right on their property. Shouldn't that tell you everything that y'all need to know? Y'all be in these lower level jobs treating people like the dirt on the bottom of your shoe. For what? And it's really only lower level jobs where you receive this type of bullying, this type of harassment, and y'all downplay bullying so much because y'all are the bullies. That's why I don't feel bad for this woman. I don't. Then she been in that company for 15 years. I know she thought she was running that company. I know she thought she ran that McDonald's. And McDonald's did not even give a fuck to release an official statement. Y'all better watch out how y'all treat people on behalf of these jobs and on behalf of your ego. Because everybody not playing with y'all. Everybody is not playing with y'all in these lower level jobs. That goes to these call centers. It goes to these warehouse jobs. It goes for these fast food jobs. People are not playing with y'all. And something happened to you, the company dang sure not going to give a damn. So why you bullying these people? Let this be the lesson. I hope it's worth it. I hope it's worth it to be bullying people. I hope it is worth it. And I hope more people start taking action.
Yeah, man. And McDonald's, also now we're still waiting on the statement. Like, McDonald's, what have you got to say about this manager? Like, what? Not even like, oh, we're devastated to hear, nothing. Absolutely nothing. And I agree with her. 15 plus years. She thought she was running the show. She thought she owned that franchise. Like, was it worth it? Listen, a job is like money, it comes and goes. I'm not going to be in a job and get disrespected. Again, I've worked in customer service. Sometimes I've gone back and forth and argued with customers because they think they can talk to me crazy or throw things at me. It's like if you work in a restaurant and you're the waitress. Don't be throwing things at me. Like, wait for me to collect, pick up the plates. Like, don't be dashing nothing at me. Like, what? Listen, I've never been afraid to speak my mind or to lose the job. I've never been fired, but I've been let go. It was a temporary contract, so obviously I knew I wasn't going to be there forever. So when they didn't need me no more, they let me go. But I've never been fired, no. But there's been times I've been close, or people like managers have had to step in because I've literally argued with the customer. I've told some of them, yo, I clock out at this time, meet me outside my workplace, because you know what I mean? They think they can take you for a dickhead. So I agree with her, stop playing with people, especially call centers, warehouses, fast food, customer service. Like, we're tired. Stop playing with people. That goes for the managers, other co-workers, other employees, managers, even the even cleaners. People like to mess with them and throw tissue or rubbish on the floor, and it's just like, it couldn't be me. Like, I can lose this job, but I will not be like, no disrespect will be tolerated. But I agree with her, for people that work in fast food or who are bullying or whatever, take notes, because this easily could have been you. And learn for people's mistakes, you know what I mean? If this woman really was bullying this other woman, now look, she's lost her life. Now her kids have to grow up as orphans. Was it worth it? And McDonald's don't even care.
And that girl that stabbed her McDonald's manager to death, the one that had 6 children, rest her soul, that's the perfect example to leave people alone. You cannot, just because you go to work and you at your work does not make you safe. Okay, just recently, some girl got killed at the gas station in California, Hollywood, California, I believe, at a 7-Eleven. Her manager killed her, beat her to death. And that's not the same situation, because I believe for this girl at this McDonald's, the girl at the McDonald's said that the manager was bullying her. Listen, we live in very trying times. We live in very, hard times, and you don't know what type of mental state people are already in. You don't know what lengths people will go to. You never underestimate the lengths somebody will go to take their anger out on you. If it doesn't have to be an argument, don't make it an argument. And you bitter hoes, you messy bitches that go around starting shit, talking about everybody, stalking folks, trying to get mad about a man, putting your hands on people. Yeah, you hoes, y'all better stop that shit too, because you will end up in the grave, or something will end up happening, Lord forbid, because y'all don't know when to leave people the fuck alone. Not saying that this was this in this case, but this girl has said several times that her manager was bullying her. And she made several videos. And you see how people do? This girl made several videos now saying that her manager was bullying her before she killed this woman. It was already in her head to kill this woman. This woman was going to work. Whatever she was doing, she thought she was playing in this girl's face. And she ended up actually snapping on this girl. This girl actually ended up snapping on her and killing her. If you can, leave folks alone. You don't know what people are capable of doing to you. All that picking and trying to be funny, people will kill your ass. For real.
Sorry, she made me laugh with all that picking and trying to be funny. People will kill your ass. She told no lies. Leave people alone. Leave them alone. Listen, she spoke on some good stuff. Again, you have people who stalk their exes, or if they're interested in a new guy, or you know what I mean, just messing around with people. You don't know people. You don't know how people get down. Leave them alone. And especially in America, I know you guys love your GUNs. Again, over here we have zombie knives. Like, you just don't know. A lot of people carry pocket knives or those little handguns. Like, you just don't know what people are on. And mental health is real. Everyone's stressed out. The cost of living. It's literally just getting to that point where people just don't give a fuck. So just leave them alone. If you ain't trying to say hi and show love and be positive, leave them alone. Like, stop the messing around. You get. Take this as a lesson learned. Again, she said in Hollywood, California, something similar happened with another employee and their manager. She beat her to death. Like, that's proper personal. Like, there's one thing stabbing, shooting, but beating her to death. Wow. You know what I mean? It's like strangling someone. You strangle someone, that's literally you taking their breath away. Like, whew. Be kind, do good, leave people alone.
I'm not here to say that McDonald's girl was right. I'm not here to say she was wrong. I'm here to say that's why you should watch how you treat people, and that's why you should not bully people, and that's why you should just be a good person in general. You know, it just seemed like that girl was fed up. She was talking about, oh, she got sent home 2 days in a row. She came in on her off day to make up some time, and they sent her home anyways. And I'm not here to defend that, but in honesty, you don't know what that girl was facing. You know, it's easy to get behind in this economy. It's easy to get an eviction. It's easy to do that. It really is. You know, it really is. And it sucks to say that that mother of 6 lost her life, but I'm not saying that how she was treating people was right either. You know, because as a former bully, because I used to bully people back in high school, and I sit there and think about it to this day. I regret it sometimes, because them people didn't deserve that. That was just me going to school and reflecting what was being taught at home. You know, it really matters how you treat people. It really does. You should watch what you say to people. You're not above nobody. And it sucks, because I'm sitting here and I'm reading the comments on some of these posts, and it's like, oh, look at her hair. Oh, she looks like the type to do this. And that's why she did it. She's tired of being bullied. Just because she got orange hair or she looks the way she looks, why does that have something to do with you? You know? That doesn't. Well, how people live isn't your problem. You know, you don't always have to comment on people's life, because you are no better. You know, just because she had orange hair, she could have been the sweetest girl in the world. She could have been the smartest girl in the world. Like it really stems from bullying, bro. People is fed up and tired of getting bullied. You know, I'm not saying she's right, and I'm not saying she's wrong. R.I.P. to that mother, and I just pray that her 6 kids, you know, make it through life, and it's not hard for them. And I just pray for that girl that did the stabbing, and I hope all is well for her too. That's why we shouldn't be bullying.
Yeah, shout out to him. Not I was a former bully. Like, what? And listen, I've been teased. I wouldn't go as far as say being bullied, but you could call it that. And it was a guy and 5 girls. And later on in life, so this was around high school, end of high school, going into college. And this was only because, so these were girls of Caribbean like descendants, and I was chilling with Africans. So you know, the whole African versus the West Indies, they would take the piss out of them and their accent and da da da, you know what I mean, and their English. So they were literally teasing me just because I was chilling with the Africans. But the guy out of that group, he saw me years later by myself, and he actually came up to me and he apologized. He's like, listen, what I did in college, I was dead ass wrong, and I apologize. And I just looked at him, I was like, you know what? Thank you. Now, for the girls now, about 4 of them out of the 5, one's tried to add me on social media and try and follow me. The other one, she's seen me around and she's like, oh my gosh, you look so good now compared to how you looked back in the day. The other, you know what I mean? I just see them here and there, but the fact that out of that, like them lot, the only one that apologized was the guy. I just looked at him and I was like, you know what? Thank you. It really does matter. And if you do get the chance to say sorry, or I was a dick back then, or I was going through stuff, you know, that there's that saying, hurt people hurt people. I hate that saying, but you know what I mean? It's one of those, it is what it is. We all go through life, like life be life in. This year's been a really tough year for me. That doesn't give me the right to go out and pick on people, bully people, or unalive them. You get, for me, it's just excuses. But big up to the bullies that do see people they used to bully and they apologize, and you know what I mean? Us trying to be friends and doing all that, no. But yeah, he said it, like, stop it, even though that's coming from a former bully. But yeah, bullying, it really does hurt people, and you just don't know what people mental states are. Now, sir, for the ginger wigs and people talking about, yeah, she looked like a killer, some people have just got that look, you know what I mean? Now, if she looked that innocent, you'd be shocked, you'd be like, rah, you know what I mean? But I'm sorry, her other videos, her TikTok, the content that she was putting out, it was giving demonic. I don't care. She could have had black hair, brown hair, all that waving the knife, and you know, the whole Chucky. No, I love horror film. Horror film is one of my favorite genres, yeah, when it comes to movies. But still, I've not got a bunch of Chucky and Freddy and Jasons all around. You know what I mean? Like, come on. But yeah, he made some really good points. Just stop. Just be kind. Love on one another, and just stop the hating. And you know what I mean? Just stop.
That manager was not the only victim. I'm sorry to say it, and I'm sorry she lost her life. Nobody should lose their life. But I just want to say, a lot of managers take advantage of people. They do, especially they know if you need the job, especially they know you got responsibilities and bills, and they know you can't get another job. all type of stuff. They will bully you. They will boss you around. They will make it unfair for you. They're gonna tell you to do everything because they know you're gonna do it because you need the job. And managers do bully you. They really, really do. There's managers that tell you to do everything and sit there, watch, and won't do nothing. There's managers that put some people to do easier stuff and some people not to. And then there's managers that send you home because they're mad at you or they don't like you and stuff like that. That is so true. And you don't know what people's going through, you know, at home, their life, all type of stuff. And now they're coming to work and y'all making it even harder for them. I'm not saying what she did was right, which she was wrong. She should have never took the lady's life. But why are you at work treating people unfairly, treating them rudely, like messing with their money and stuff like that? Like, people got bills, people got a living, and there's people saying, oh yeah, she should have got another job. Do y'all know how hard it is in this economy to get a job? It's so hard to find a job. Literally, it's not easy at all. And these managers know this, and that's why they do this to these people, because they know it's hard to find a job. They know they need the job.
Yeah, she made some good points. Yeah, managers do be doing this, you know what I mean? And then sometimes employees be bullying other employees, you know what I mean? Or taking all the good shifts, or you know what I mean? In the workplace, is there favoritism? Yes. Even like in my last job, the manager loved me. A lot of people didn't like him, and I was just like, why? Why? Like, I would go in there, request for holidays. He would give it me off like that. My mum be like, your manager likes you. I'm like, and I like him too. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I had him wrap around my little finger, but then certain people would want certain stuff and they'd be like, no. You know what I mean? But I was a good worker, I was a hard worker, you know what I mean? You know the saying, work hard, play hard, you know what I mean? But I agree. Maybe not look for a new job, but she definitely could have transferred. Like, come on, it's McDonald's. Same with me, working in the biggest supermarket. If I had a problem, I could have transferred at any point. You know me? So she definitely could have transferred to a whole new McDonald's. I just wanted to mention, I forgot to mention from the last clip from that guy when he stated that she came in on her day off, maybe worked for a little bit, and then the woman sent her home. Yeah, that's a piss take. Like, it's little things like that. It's like, because then it's traveling. I don't know how far she lived from the McDonald's, but it's traveling, and then you just get sent home. Now, with all the jobs I've had, when the system was down, they still wouldn't send us home. They was like, listen, there's always work to be done. Even like when I used to work in a shoe shop, when it wasn't busy, much customers, we end up cleaning, rearranging, organizing, going through papers, going through the stock. Like, there's always something to do. So for her to be sent down their home, like, come on, I know there's something to do around here. And I don't know where this location of McDonald's is, if it's like a busy area, but where I live, that McDonald's is always busy. Like, it's never, you know what I mean? It's never slow, it's never empty, it's busy, busy, busy. So for her to be getting sent home, huh? You know what I mean? But I definitely agree with what she said. Like, stop playing like these managers, chill the fuck out, because you're letting that little bit of power you've got get to your head. Like, you're not the owner of the fast food. And again, now that she's been unalive, McDonald's has not even put out a statement, so it shows how much they cared about you.
Have you seen the video about that McDonald's, the mum of six that worked at McDonald's in America that got stabbed in her face by their employee? Yeah, terrible. So basically, yeah, I watched the employee's video because the employee recorded a video before she went back to McDonald's to do what she did, and she's just basically describing how the manager was like bad energy towards her and all the workers, and that she was basically just being bullied by her. And she kept cutting her hours. She would come back in on her holiday, not her holiday. Yeah, she'd come back in on her holiday to like make up her hours, and she sent her home then, and it was just unfair. She doesn't like the way she was being treated by her. She felt like she would come to work and just act like all her workers are her kids from home, and any stresses that her kids are giving her, she will come back and implement it in the workplace, and she just made it just sort of like a horrible environment and rare tear tear. That definitely doesn't justify what she did, because everyone has restraint. But then on the flip side of it, you need to respect people. You don't know what
anybody is going through, and you don't know what anyone's breaking point is. Everyone in the comments were just going on like, this is, no one should justify this and blah blah blah, I don't care. You don't have to care, but trust me, lack of finances, you're trying to work, you don't know the lack of finances in this economy someone's head can chip off. You don't know what could be sending someone over the edge. Someone's already had enough. They're going to a place that they don't like going. They're getting bullied. And that's another thing. A lot of these managers that let the power get to their head and don't actually occupy what it actually takes to be in that position. They're just so happy with I'm a manager and you just have to deal with it. That's the mentality they have. They think anything they say is viable and they're almost untouchable and you're beneath them. They'll treat you like you're inferior, like you're nothing. A lot of people just get by. Me, I used to get by. My first ever job, my manager called me a monkey. Yeah. God forbid if I was in a different type of way and my mental was off that day. Off. And then he just ticked it off and it was only 2 of us upstairs. I wouldn't know what I would have been capable of with a comment like that. You don't know what people are going through, honestly. You don't know what it could be that will tick somebody off. You don't know. You honestly don't. So I swear, people need to honestly learn to be kinder to people and respect people. No one at work is your friends. They're not your friends. They're colleagues. They're not your friends. Go to work, do your job, go home. But you can't even do that because a lot of these managers make it so hard. Just pick. And a lot of the times you know that they're picking on you. There's certain things someone else is doing, you do. It will always be you. It's like you're almost like a target. And if you've already got stuff going on and your mentor is not all the way there, you don't know where someone's edge is gonna be. You don't. That's why you don't try people, you know. Trying people unnecessarily, pounding your chest all around the place. Because you best believe here, you're gonna really find the right one. It's sad. I feel sorry for both of them. It should definitely be a lesson to go to work and conduct yourself accordingly. I hate those ones that always like to threaten that they could replace you. They could replace you in an instant. You know, you already know that you're a number, but you know the effort that you put in to secure your job. But they will make it feel like they can just take it away. You do this, I can just take it away. You know, anything they do, they're always holding it over your head. Like they have the power, like their job can't be taken away either. Some people in these workplaces are so wicked. So wicked. You wonder why things like this happen. I'm surprised that I don't hear about it more often with the way that a lot of these employers act. Because a lot of them act so crazy and rude. I'm not surprised that a lot more incidents like this, I'm not saying they should, but I'm surprised that I don't hear it often. Because a lot of these managers, really do know how to try people. They know how to try people, I swear to God, a lot of them. Their power gets to their head. They let it get to their head like they're invincible. They don't think they own the company. That they're untouchable, yes? You have managers like that all over the gaff. Terrible.
Yeah, shout out to him. A guy in his dressing gown, the British guy. I've used a couple of his clips in my videos before. He's really funny and laughy. Obviously, this is a serious topic, but he told no lies. First of all, what do you mean on his first job? The manager there called him a monkey, and this is what I'm saying. Especially when it's your first job, you're so excited, you're willing to learn, you're just really gullible and naive. You're not going to be about that life now. Some people are regardless, but he knew this being his first job, probably being 15 to 17, he's not gonna do nothing. You called him a monkey, really? Now, I like that he stated, he hates when managers are like, oh, you can be replaced. I know I can be replaced, just like I don't care being fired. I'm not gonna let you or a customer talk to me anyhow. You know what I mean? I know if I clap back or argue with someone, I know they're probably gonna call me into the office. It's either gonna be a written warning or I'm getting sacked. I know that. You know what I mean? People who know that also know that don't say nothing or keep their mouth shut or don't clap back because they need to hold down that job. Me, I don't care because I know I'm good like that. I can get another job. You know what I mean? I've never struggled with getting work. Some people do, I don't. You know what I mean? My sister, she's been out of work for a good minute now and she's struggling to get employment. I don't have that problem. You know what I mean? I have a good resume. I've got good people to back me up who I've worked for in the past, so I'm good in it. But you're not gonna disrespect me or racial slurs and think I'm not gonna clap back. Like, but I get it. That was his first job. Same with me in my first job with those horrible managers. You don't know any better, but we're grown now, you know what I mean? But I agree with him. I'm surprised I don't hear more stories like this, but again, people just hold it in, rant in their car, rant on TikTok, rant to their spouse, you know what I mean? A lot of people do rant and be like, oh, I hate my job or I hate the man, you know what I mean? We're all struggling, and this is what the worst thing is. Like he stated, she went into work and used to treat her employees like her kids, like, and it's probably because a lot of the employees probably reminded her of her kids, you know what I mean? But nah, man. Talk to people with respect. Everyone needs to respect everyone. And these are the rules, the 101 rules. And it's funny because when you're in the interview, like applying for the job, that magical question, why do you deserve this position, or why should we pick you over the next person? You know what I mean? And you've got to shoot your shot. You've got to be like, I can do this, this, and this. So for them later on to be like, oh, you can be replaced if you don't do this right. We're gonna bring someone else in. So you know what I mean? Once you've got that job, you need to remember, like, to hold down that job, you need to remember why they picked you, you know what I mean? But yeah, again, as you can see in this clip, a lot of people are on the culprit side. Like, no one likes bullying, you know what I mean? It's mad that people still get bullied to today because no one rates a bully, just like no one rates a pedophile. You know what I mean? There's certain things people just don't rate. But at the same time, as much as she was getting bullied, now she's a murderer. So, you know what I mean? It's one of those. It's like, doesn't make it right. There's so many different things she could have done. Again, a lot of people have been teased, bullied. Such is life. Unfortunately, to some people, it's a part of their life. Now, if you've been bullied in like both like primary school, high school, college, and now in your work job, yeah, you like you said, people are walking around with chips. Your head's definitely gonna blow off, and you're just gonna take out all that frustration, all that anger. People need counseling, people need therapy, people need to go to one of those like anger management, like just let loose and just scream and just let it out. You know what I mean? Since 2020, a lot of people being cooped up in the house ain't been right. You know what I mean? But yeah, I agree with what he said. He said he made a lot of really good points.
Those of you who are defending that girl for unaliving her manager at McDonald's, yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. Saying, oh, she's not crazy. She just had enough. Go look at her Instagram. She was bad. She was crazy. Scrolling through her page made me want to go pray afterwards. I'm not going to lie. She was like messing with dead animals and just doing all types of crazy stuff. Her eyes. It was just a lot. Go look. Go look. And it also shows you why her manager was sending her home. The fact that y'all are so quick to want to defend a literal murderer is like really making me scared of y'all. I'm not going to lie. So if you think that she was justified in any way, please unfollow me.
Yo, she nearly made me spit out my drink. Whoa, playing with dead animals. I didn't see that. Again, I feel like after I went on her page, I felt like I had to pray, you know what I mean? I always be with my sage, like saging myself. Whoa, that's giving Jeffrey Dahmer. Like, didn't he start off by killing animals and cutting their guts? You know what I mean? It always stems and starts from somewhere. Again, shout out to the Good Samaritans, like, you know what I mean, held her at gunpoint, because if it wasn't for that, she would have been on the run. You know what I mean? Like, for me, I agree with her. If you look on her TikTok, her content, she was tapped. Chip, head gone, I don't care, whatever you want to call it. She wasn't right. It was given demonic. Again, she felt like she had to pray after I hear her, because that's how I felt, and I didn't even see the dead animals part. Listen, I'm not promoting her TikTok on here. If you want to go look, you're gonna have to go through the TikToks and try and find it. But I wouldn't be surprised if her page has been taken down by now. But yeah, guys, that's it for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Are you on the side of the manager? Again, we still don't know the truth if she really was bullying her. We need people that work there to come out, frankly. Or are you on the side of the culprit? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. Stay safe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.